4,
Right.
but I've got 8 more in my bedroom.
Jeez.
Yeah, my cousin passed away in 2016, and she left me this in her will.
Oh my gosh.
So I got the signature 7 guitar.
Oh dang. Honestly, I'd rather play like Roblox than Minecraft.
Oh,
personally.
come on.
I'm sorry. And
Not that bad. I didn't finish school.
You didn't finish school either.
Nope.
And are you trying to get a GED or anything like that at all? No?
I have not bothered to.
Right. Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's your boy Worm. Today's guest on the podcast is Paragon Mitchell. Today we talk about GTA, we talk guitars, and much more. Roll the tape, guys. Roll the tape. All right, we're going to start this a little early, guys. All right, we got a couple people already in here. We're not going to wait. All right. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Worm Podcast. We're here with the wonderful Paragon Mitchell. We have actually talked in the past a long time ago. Played together, but we've talked to each other through other people's streams and all that stuff. And he's always been a good guy from what I could tell. I'm sure some of you guys that are from his stream will probably say otherwise. Who knows? But well, this is just for you guys to be able to maybe get to know him in a different way, learn some things that maybe you never heard about or whatever. And also like maybe some questions that y'all might even actually asked in his own podcast, in his own streams and all, but he wasn't able to fully elaborate on what he was talking about. Okay. Other than that, with no further ado, how you doing, Mitchell? How you doing today?
I'm doing good, my man. Worm Dog, what is up? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, dude.
Hey, thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Look through a bunch of different little things. We're not getting into that question yet.
Those are my friends, by the way.
Yeah, I figured that much. But I noticed, like, as far as like looking up all your stuff, because you know it's been a long time and all this stuff, I had to look up, you know, your YouTube and all that to like reevaluate myself on you, and all. Out of all the games you play, because you're mostly a variety streamer and stuff like that, what are the games that most interest you?
You know, I like it. Like you said, every game I play a little bit of everything, but like in terms of what my favorite video game is, like off the bat, if Grand Theft Auto Vice City is the greatest game I've ever played, but like my go-to game is probably The Division 2, or I'll play Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 5, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You know, I just play mostly
Battlefield 1?
shooters.
Come on, man.
Battlefield 1, man, that's a long story, man. I remember I first got my Xbox and I got Battlefield 1 with it, and it ruined my sleep schedule for months. Oh man, I was addicted.
it's like, for me, as far as all the Battlefields and all stuff like that, like I think Battlefield 1 is my favorite out of the Battlefield 1, out of all the Battlefields. I know a lot of people love Battlefield 4, 3 and all. Battlefield 5 basically like went off the map because of all the bugs and problems that it had when it first released and all that stuff. Yeah. A lot of Battlefield diehard fans and stuff like that ended up going back to Battlefield 4 or Battlefield 1 and stuff like that and all. But I don't know. It's like, for me, obviously anybody that's watched my streams and stuff, like it's always been Halo for me, Battlefield, and well, I haven't played it in a long time, but PUBG used to be like one of my faves.
Oh, PUBG.
PUBG, yeah. The game that makes you want to like almost shoot yourself sometimes because of how inaccurate the shots can be.
It hit detect. Man, the first time I played PUBG, I was on the Xbox One. It came out day one. I played it. It was a steaming pile of dog shit.
Well, it's like, you know, I tried playing PUBG probably 6-8 months ago or something like that. And there's been so many changes to the game and all that stuff. I wouldn't even know where to start. You know what I mean?
Oh, so yeah, it's a live service game. They change it all the time. And
the thing is, like go back on Battlefield. Like, I'm actually surprised, like with Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, like how many people are still playing that game. And imagine how old these games are. You know what I'm saying?
They age like fine wine, dude. They
You
still have
know?
more content than regular games that come out nowadays. You compare Battlefield 4 to Battlefield 5. It's just it's obvious, man. It's just inferior.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. Like I no me I gone on the variety side of things and all that stuff, and the main reason why is because I think I got like a little bit of ADHD kind of. Well, I was diagnosed when I was younger, but like it's not that bad or whatever. But it's just like I can't stick to one game, a week straight. Even you
Neither
know
can
what I'm
I.
saying? Like
Neither
I
can
can
I.
play the same game like maybe 2 days in a row, but then after that, it's like I'm bored. I feel like I like it's just stagnant, all that stuff, and it's just I just let me play something else. That's like my love hate relationship with H5 is because like I think H5 is a wonderful game and all that stuff. I even if they just didn't have so many issues with it and all that stuff as far as servers and all that. So like after a day of playing it or 2 days even, it's like no, let me go play me some Apex, have some fun in some Apex and all that stuff. And then like I'll play Apex for like 2-3 days. And then I've got the itch again to play freaking Halo 5. Or I might even get the itch like I did like a month and a half ago. I haven't played Battlefield 1 in like freaking 2 months. I want to play freaking Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, you know?
Yeah, I get like that with. I mean, I feel like that for me. That's like every game I play. I'll go and play. Like the Division 2. I'll play it for 2 days, grind it, and then I'll be like, wow. Because in my mind, if I play something too much, it'll get stale to me to the point where I don't want to play it again. Like
Right.
I think I did that a lot with. Trying to think of a game that I did that a lot with. Probably Minecraft. That
Uh,
was a game I got so into when I was younger
I
to the
could
point
never
where it
get
means nothing to me anymore.
I could never get into Minecraft. Like long time ago, a couple of my peeps tried getting me into Minecraft and all, and I was just like, it's just honestly, I'd rather play like Roblox than Minecraft
Oh, come
personally.
on.
I'm sorry. And
It's not that bad.
Roblox, you actually have like Hurricane or whatever little
The mini
thing.
games?
Yeah, the little mini games. You have the little mini games that you can just play and all that stuff. Instead of like constantly having to knock blocks to make something. I don't know. It's an attention span for me and complication and all that stuff. It's the big complication of like in order to get this block and you got to have this block, that block, or whatever to be able to make this thing and all. And it's like, dude, I just want to play the game, but keep it simple, stupid. I'm old, okay? Like, look at the hairline here, okay?
Dude, that's what I loved about Minecraft is because it had such an addictive gameplay loop. Like I know you said, you take a block and turn it into another thing. That's probably like why everybody played it in the first place is because it had this endless progression, and you can choose choose the way you want to play, make your own fun, do whatever you want to do. You want to play creative? Go ahead, play creative. I can understand why people don't like it. Like my old coworker, he used to like, I remember I was like 17. I would be going home and I'm like, I'm playing Minecraft tonight. And he'd be like, you're a fucking loser. I'm like, well, it's fun. And he's like, well, I'm going to go home and play some Call of Duty. I'm like, well, you have fun on that. I'm going to have fun on Minecraft. It's just, it's just, I get that it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I love Minecraft, but man, I got burnt out pretty fast.
Still on the Roblox, man. I'm sorry. I'm still on that.
I've played Roblox too, just to let you know. And I played it when I first got my Xbox along with Battlefield 1. I played it with my friend Cameron for like a week and I was like, yeah, I can see why people like this. Never spent money on it or anything.
No. I like even to this very day, I haven't spent a dime on freaking Apex. You know what I'm saying?
Neither have I.
Neither
have I.
People are saying in the chat like Minecraft is therapeutic. Well, so can Roblox too. So
any game can be therapeutic.
Yeah, exactly. It all depends on like what calms you down and all that stuff because it can always be different for each person and all that stuff. Especially with the way that person may or may not think. All right, let's go into something else. All right, who do you most look up to?
All right, so this doesn't have to be like us as a streamer or a content creator, just anybody.
Well, I mean, not your hero, but who you look up to.
3 people.
Okay.
Right? Number one, the person that made me want to start making YouTube videos and content creating or whatever as a whole. This dude I met years ago, his name's the Act Man. This guy taught me so much without even speaking to me for like years, and now we're good friends. And he started off, he was a Halo 5 YouTuber. He used to
Okay.
make critical videos on Halo 5. Now he's up, he doesn't do that anymore. And he kind of reviews Call of Duty now, but he he basically pioneered me into wanting to make YouTube videos. And I was like, I want to do that. I want to learn how to do that. And then, I discovered streaming and stuff. And then the next two people would be Nate God and Pixel Pete.
Yep.
Simple enough. Innovative guys, creative guys, people that always are finding a way to push the envelope in every single way.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Godspeed. I don't know how they do it.
Well, the thing is too is like with Nagod and Pixel Pete and all that stuff, it's almost seems like every stream there's something a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like like a different scene, a different kind of alert, that kind of deal and all. I'm lazy and very simple, stupid, so like I'll never get to that level of things. You know what I'm saying? And all, especially since I'm going more towards the podcast route, trying to promote you guys and all that stuff as much as possible. But yeah, they are definitely people to look up to and all. All right, now this is going into the next one. Who's your hero? Because this one I actually have a story on.
Hero, like who do I look up to as a human being and not someone?
Somebody that you feel is like your true hero.
Wayne Gretzky.
Why?
I know that sounds weird.
Why?
Well, first, growing up,
This is interesting.
Growing up, I don't know if you know this. A lot of people think this is white supremacy. No, it's not. It's a lightning bolt because I love the Tampa Bay Lightning. I love hockey. So hockey's my favorite sport, and there's nothing more than I could agree with, other than you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's his quote. He came up with that quote, and I couldn't agree more, man. That's just you might as well go for it. Hell with it. If you're gonna fail, if you don't.
And that applies to anything and everything. Like it's not just hockey. It's freaking life in general. Starting this freaking podcast. It's like I was like, do I really want to do this? Am I going to, whatever? And it was like, fuck it, and I'm going to finally freaking do it. I talked about doing this for a year ago or something like that, and now I'm finally actually doing it. And people like you are hitting me up and all that stuff, and it's like, okay, it was worth a shot. Now for me, I have to say it's my dad. All right, for me, my personal hero is my dad. The main reason why is because my dad has been on his own since he was 12 years old. All right, he's actually the oldest of 13 children. He left the home because it was a very abusive home and all that stuff when he was 13 years old, something like that. And he's pretty much been on his own since then. Never got a GED, never got a high school diploma. Worked as a mechanic for years. Worked at Walmart for years and all that stuff and all. Raised me and my brother. My mom ended up getting in a car accident for a while, so she was bunked up for a minute. And then a few years later or whatever, my mom ended up having a stroke. And he was always taking care of myself and my brother. And, we always had food on the table. We still went to our baseball games. My dad taught me how to play baseball. Went to baseball games, football games, all that stuff. Supported me when I was in the Marine Corps and all that stuff. And, that's the reason why, because like he came from basically nothing and he made something,
Oh yeah.
And now he's retired. He obviously, because my mom had a stroke and all that stuff, they don't really go out and do a whole lot of things, but they are able to do things because he is retired and all. And there's not a lot of people that have come from that kind of environment and have been able to be successful. And in order for that, you really have to have drive. You have to want to be better and do better for you, for your family and all that stuff and all. And that's, I think, what really lacks in today's society is the drive.
Oh yeah, people like your father, I have the utmost amount of respect for, hands down. I have family members who, have been at their bottom, at the bottom of the pit and pulled themselves out for the sake of themselves, their family, stuff like that. That's just, it's inspiring, you know.
Yep.
And it makes you want to do the same thing, even if you're feeling in a slump and you're probably, and it's probably not all that bad, if it feels like, today sucks, blah blah blah. How worse can it get?
Right.
You know what I mean? How worse can it get? So
Are you living on the street
people
yet?
like your father are inspiring, dude.
Are you living on the street yet? Or are you not able to put food on the table and stuff like that? Like you haven't truly hit rock bottom until you get to that level and all. And it's really sad that there's so many people, especially here in America, that are at that level and cannot get out of that level for whatever reasons that they have and all. I'm not going to get into that stuff because then that starts going into political side of things, and we're staying away from that stuff for tonight.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What's the toughest thing that you've ever done in your life so far? I mean, I know you're only 20. You've only had so much experience, but what is the toughest thing that you've done in your life?
My friends are watching me, so this is tough to say, but toughest choice I ever made was quitting school. I didn't finish school.
You didn't finish school either?
Nope.
And are you trying to get a GED or anything like that at all?
No? I have not bothered to.
Right.
I know that sounds weird, but everybody, it's weird to explain my perspective because everybody, they all have their own story and what things they go through in school and, all stuff like that. Angelo, I see you laughing in chat. The first time I got kicked out, not the second. I had a problem with my first school where I wasn't given the same equal opportunities as other students, and they ended up kicking me out because of that. I didn't see eye to eye with administration or staff, and being kicked. It was a school that it was more than just a school to me. My sister graduated there, my brother graduated there, my other brother graduated there, my mom graduated there, my dad graduated there, my aunt and uncle graduated there, and several of my cousins graduated there. It was like almost like an heirloom but then they it was just this whole crazy shit that happened. I could tell you if you ask me, crazy story, I could tell you. We'll save that, but
save that for later.
I don't think I had an equal opportunity as everybody else when it came to my first time getting in trouble.
Do you think some of that is because of like the lineage from that school? Because everybody in your family's gone to that school, and maybe they had a certain expectation for you or something like that?
No, it was a totally different reason.
Okay.
It's like I said, we'll get there.
I got you. I don't know. It's like for me, and this is going to kind of dark side or whatever. Like my toughest thing is that for me was when I was in the Marine Corps and when I got deployed in 2003, my ex-wife, which was my wife at that point in time, was pregnant with my son. And she tried committing suicide while she was pregnant while I was deployed. And over there, I had the option of I almost got court-martialed while I was out there, and then I ended up getting sent back and all that stuff. My regret on that and the toughest thing that's for me is that I think what probably would have been actually better for me was if I would have divorced her then instead of waiting later, because I after I got back and everything and all that stuff, like things were just not the same. And the main reason why is because I was blackballed in the Marine Corps, basically. From every command that I went to from there on out, it was always something. Like it was good and smooth for like the first month and a half or something like that, it seemed like. And then after that, all of a sudden I was on the shit stick. I kind of wish that I would have divorced her then, and then I would have also fought for custody of my son along with that and all, because like my thing is that I never did fight for custody for my son, even when we got divorced, which was obviously years later and all that stuff, just did not, should not have been that long. But because of that, like there was no way for me to say that she's not mentally competent and all that stuff because it's been years since that event happened. So I wasn't able to do that. And now because of that, for like especially the last like year, 2 years, I actually haven't seen my son. Obviously this past year was mainly because of COVID. And then the year before that, he had a girlfriend. He wanted to spend the summer with his girlfriend and stuff like that. So I haven't actually had a lot of interaction compared to what I've had in the years prior and all that stuff and all, because I've always tried to be as active in his life and stuff like that. And about the only thing we do now is we talk on the phone, text each other and stuff like that. And I feel that because of that whole beginning scenario, I think I really hurt my son in being a true man and being a good person and all that stuff, the way I feel that he could be and all. And I think there's a lot of issues that he's going through right now that probably could have been alleviated a lot more if I would have made a decision in the beginning to do what I should have done and all that stuff. Yeah, I've gone through some shit, man. I've gone through some shit.
Dude, holy shit.
I've
never been through anything like that in my life.
Like I said, you're
my time's coming.
No, don't worry, but at the same time, the biggest thing is that as long as you try to make sure that, when and if you have kids and stuff like that, try to make sure that your child is a priority in some way, shape, or form and all that stuff. Because there's a lot of other fathers and mothers and all that stuff out there that don't take even the time, that even though they can't visit their child, they don't even take the time to bother calling or texting their child. And all that
make them your priority.
And all that's the biggest thing. Always try to make them priority and all that stuff. Because when he would come here for the summers and all, we always go paintballing. We go freaking doing a bunch of little things and stuff like that and all. And so what's the place? Six Flags? Or no,
Flags Atlantis.
Kings Island and all that stuff. Because Kings Island's in Ohio. We'd go and do little things like that. So there is at least memories. Like I've taken him to an NFL game when he was younger and all that stuff. So there's been memories there and all. It's just I think that me being there a little bit more probably would have helped him as growing as an adult. He's a good kid. He's all that stuff, good head is on his shoulders, but I think that he could a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same can be applied to like, even if it's not a child, like let's say it's your brother or your sister or someone like that. Same thing can be applied where it's like you making the right choice and being around them and doing the right things just for them can sculpt people into a better person. Yes. I agree with that 100%. I mean,
again, does not take away freaking a 2-parent household. I'm not saying that at all. A 2-parent household is definitely the best thing that freaking a child can have. And all that stuff, 100%, and all that stuff. But for a little boy to grow into a man, he needs to have a man in his life. Or a little girl to grow up into a woman, needs a woman in his life, in her life, that kind of deal. So that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I'm thankful that my parents are still married after 30 years.
Yeah, and that's my parents too. And my grandma passed away 2 years ago, or a year ago, or something like that. But my grandparents were married for like 60 years and all that stuff. And my parents, they've been married for like 30, I think, or so. Well, no, 42 years. That's how long my parents have been married.
Damn, dude. I'm the youngest in my family. I'm the youngest of the bunch. I got 3 sisters, 2 brothers.
The thing is, all right, how good do you get along with your siblings? Because me and my brother, we've already said that the next time we see each other, we're beating each other until one of us goes in a hospital. That's our relationship.
My siblings, I get along with them well for the most part. I mean, everybody has their differences, obviously. I don't see eye to eye with them on certain things, whether it be politics or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'll die for my family, and my family would die for me.
Right. Yeah. I can see that. It's just the thing is, like, for me, I've always had a little bit of animosity for my brother. It's mainly because, like, I left the house when I was 17 and I've never been back. Okay. My brother didn't actually end up leaving the house until he was like 30, 32. And the only reason why he left the house is because my parents, obviously he's the baby of the family, my parents paid for a trailer and land for him. They
to get him
paid
off the property.
they paid to get the trailer remodeled, all that stuff, whatever. They basically like, listen, here's this place, gave him a little bit of money and all that stuff. Because my dad, like, that was the thing, like, whenever me and my dad would visit each other and all that stuff, because we would hang out and all, sometimes he would come over here to Indiana just by himself or whatever to help me with some stuff. And we'd be sitting there chit-chatting, having a few beers and all that stuff. Like, especially when my brother was like still living there, that'd be the first thing he would be talking about. He'd be like, your brother runs me ragged and I just can't do nothing because your mother just babies them and blah, blah. I'm like, well, I mean, kick them out. Like, just
They
change
have
laws.
every right to just kick him out.
Whatever, like forget it. Like it's like, but you know how your mother is. You know how your mother is. If I do that, she's gonna moan and bitch moan, complain, and he'll be back 2 days later and all. And I'm like sitting here like, yeah, that's true, because he did try, before all this happened, he did try a couple of different times to kick him out. And my mom, like, every single time, oh, he's a baby of the family. Come back in, son. So, there's always been a little bit of animosity between me and my brother. And, there was some stuff that happened a little bit more recently now, which is why, like, I have not been back home, because I already know that if I go back home, I'm putting my brother in a hospital and maybe he'll actually lose some weight.
See, I mean, I think, every family's different. Well,
the thing is like, after I think what it is like, we're due for a fight. When we were growing up as kids, we fought all the time. We'd be in the backyard freaking fighting each other with baseball bats and shit like that. Afterwards we were like, oh, okay, let's go have a slushie or whatever, stuff like that. And like, that's like our way of like brotherly love and making up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, we beat each other to a pulp, and then afterwards like nowadays we'd have a beer afterward, and then we'll find a reason like a year later or something like that
just to
fight.
Yeah, like I said, every family's different. I think under very extreme circumstances, should a 30-year-old be living at home? Maybe, I mean, like, if you have to take care of your parents because there's, medical issues or something like that, maybe I can understand. 30, no, I can't.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna be gone by 30.
It's like some of the excuse is because like some of the excuse was when he was younger, like maybe early 20s or whatever, was because my mom ended up having a stroke, and my dad was still having to go to work. It was kind of nice having him around. But, after a few years or whatever, like, she was able to get acclimated through the loss of vision, the, not having a leg and all that stuff. But it was like time for him to go,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Enough about me.
Paid for it. They're nice enough to just say, we're paying for it. Here's the property. Here's your trailer. Go.
Right. But that's enough about me. We're here to talk about you, my friend. All right. You said you love to cook. Okay, oh, yeah. You said you love to cook. Now, are you like, you try to be like a professional cook or anything like that?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm trying to be a professional cook. When I got out of school, I was, I didn't have a job. I was at home. I had nothing to do. I was just sitting on my ass playing video games, basically being like a delinquent teenager with basically no future. My sister had a job at a seafood bar, and she's like, oh, you should come play, first, month or two under the table, you $50 every night. I'm like, that's fine with me. And I start busting. And then, I started washing dishes, and then I was like, hey, how do you cook that? I want to try that. And then I started cooking, and I got pretty good at it.
There you go. So naturally taught to cook and stuff like that.
It's funny. 5 years ago, I was asking my mom to make me, cereal. And now I'm like, hey, you guys want shrimp tonight? I'll make some scampi.
Right. Yeah.
I make seafood every day.
No. Oh man, maybe I need to come live with you or whatever. Because like the girl I'm with right now, they don't like freaking seafood at all. It's all Mexican and all that stuff. And I'm like sitting here like, I like my seafood.
Oh man, I love my seafood. I make a lot. Well, I make a lot of stuff. Make a lot of mahi. Well, at home I make a lot of mahi. I do cook shrimp, but I bread it myself and then I fry it and all that, and it's like a bang bang shrimp, but I mix it with mayo and sriracha and then bang bang shrimp.
Okay. Oh,
So
yeah, I
good.
know what you're talking about.
No, I don't like sushi. I don't like raw fish. That's nasty. I like raw oysters. Raw oysters are good.
I'm sure there's a few people in chat right now that don't mind sushi, but I've tried it, I think once or whatever, and I didn't like the texture. I don't know what it was. It's just the texture of it.
It's a very weird texture, and I just don't like the taste of it. But I'll eat raw oysters. Raw oysters are fantastic, and I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, good clams, mussels. Take some mussels, put some tomatoes on top, a little bit of tomato pieces, some Parmesan cheese, garlic, and butter. Oh, so good. Green mussels. Oh, they're so good. I didn't think I would be ever like cooking and making money, like good money from cooking, you know. And then it kind of like hit me like, okay, so I'm not working at a McDonald's, you know. It's a restaurant, and it started occurring to me like, you know, I don't have an education. I shouldn't be where I am now. Why am I making so much money?
Right.
I thought that was funny. Just for my age, I did jack all nothing to get where I was, and somehow I was blessed just to get where I was, and you know, I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, it's it's really amazing, like on how much money like cooks and all that stuff can actually make.
Oh yeah,
and all that stuff, because like I don't know, like sometimes I've watched like Hell's Kitchen and stuff. Have you watched a whole lot of that at all?
I've seen every single episode.
Oh yeah, of course you did. You're a cook, but like it's just amazing. Like, and then like they go to be an executive chef at some place or whatever, and I'm just like, you know, some of these dishes though that they make, that's like that much. Big? And it's like $65, and I'm like sitting here like, dude, I'm a fat boy. I need actual substance. That's a freaking snack. How is that? You know, $65.
See where I worked, it wasn't anything like that. You know, you paid for what you got. If you spent $12 on mussels, you're getting a pound of them. You know, I think that, and that's one thing about America. Like the restaurants where you go to, like, you know, those 5-star restaurants where they give you the smallest portions, that's supposed to be based off of other countries' menus and stuff. America is known for having entrees that are just ridiculously big.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why we're so fat in the first place.
Yeah.
You know? Oh yeah. I mean,
we have McDonald's on every corner.
You know, we could probably portion down our sizes just a little bit, you know, but at the same time, like, is that really the American way?
McDonald's, man, for life.
No. See, like that's the thing. Like, I don't eat McDonald's hardly anymore. I think out of any of the fast food restaurants that I probably would probably go to like at least once a week, once a week, it would be Taco Bell, because even though I was just complaining about Mexican all the time with my girlfriend, I do like Mexican, even though that's not true Mexican. But I do like it and all. So like that's really the only fast food like place. I don't go to McDonald's or any of those places anymore. And all, like, if I'm like, the other day I went to Olive Garden to get an actual freaking, you know, meal. Went to you know, Outback a few days before that and all that stuff to get a good steak and all that.
Oh yeah,
you know?
I love Outback. But you know, it's just every place, like, you know, Carrabba's. I think Carrabba's is one of those places that does that, where you order and it's expensive, and you're like, what is
Bonefish does it, I think, as well.
Bonefish is the worst, man.
Yes.
Okay, their food's good. It's good, but you know, it tastes good, but there's no girth. There's no substance. Like, it won't feed me. It won't feed you. Like, I remember I ordered a mac and cheese, and it was in like this little ramekin souffle. Like a little tiny ounce. I'm like, what is?
It's like,
I paid $20 for this. What is that?
Remember when you were growing up and like you had like the applesauce in the little cup?
That's exactly what it was like.
You know, that's exactly what it is.
Mac and cheese. Panera has better mac and cheese for a price. It's ridiculous, man. I never got behind small portions. That's why America actually does tips and stuff, which is weird to other countries, is because our portion size are so huge, and then the food's super dirt cheap. That's how they make their money back with tips.
Well, I think some of that also has to do with like cost benefits for the company and all that stuff, because you're not having to pay your waitresses and bartenders and stuff like that as much as what you would freaking the cooks and all that stuff, because they're actually paying their cooks rather well so that the food does come out really good and all that stuff. Now, there are some restaurants out there that actually, I read an article a few days ago about how this one restaurant, I think it was in California, which I'm not surprised it was California. They're always doing something weird. But they ended up doing a thing that like Euro does and all, where they pay their waiters and waitresses and all that stuff a full wage. They don't take tips and all that stuff and all. And the only thing they really talked about was their business profits kind of went up because they were getting more people to come in or whatnot, that kind of deal. Now, I don't know how much of I'm sure they changed some things. Like they probably changed their portion sizes and all that stuff
Oh, no doubt. There's no doubt.
To do a cost, to alleviate that cost and all that stuff. But I did hear about that and how it was pretty much successful and all. I'm not saying that it's not the right way of doing things by paying a full livable wage and all that stuff for your waiters and waitresses and all that stuff. But there's some waiters and waitresses out there that make a grand easy in a week and just tips and all because they put out that great service that they do. They're always checking up on them. And like I had a waitress the other day. All right, I go to Wings, etc. All right, I like having their burgers there, and they got friggin' some decent wings. Right, I go to Wings, etc. And one week, and with my old lady, it was just me and her, and the waitress was acting like she was brand new to it. Like she was brand new. Because you can always kind of tell, like, not forgetting the order,
forgetting drinks,
verifying, like she asked for a margarita, she didn't ask if she wanted salt or sugar with the margarita, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. And
it's rookie mistakes,
little rookie thing. So I was like, okay, I understand that, whatever. Gave her a $10 tip. The meal was only like $40, if that. So a pretty good freaking tip for $10.
That's a good tip.
And all that stuff. Well, we come back a week later. We go there with her son. Same waitress. She does really well. Like you can tell that she learned her job pretty well. She did everything good up till the closing side of things. What happened is that we got all of our food, and another table came in. I'm figuring she probably knew these people or whatever. Another table came in, got them their drinks, and then sat at their table for like 20 minutes. We ate our food. We had already gotten done with our food. I try to be courteous to the waitresses and all that stuff and put all my plates and stuff at the end of the table so that, one, they can tell that we're done with our food, and two, it's easier to pick up. It's easier to pick up, less that they have to worry about after we're gone. And that kind of deal, try to be courteous. Well, we had all of our stuff at the end of the table. We had it there for like 5-10 minutes or so. And I could see this woman because she's sitting in like two booths right across from me, right? And I'm just like sitting here and I'm staring at the guy because there was a guy and a girl and then her. I'm staring at the guy and I'm just like, yep. As the minutes go by, the tip's going away, What ends up happening is that this other waiter took an order from this one table. He comes by our table, sees the obvious thing that we're done with our food because everything's like, we even picked up all of our little small litter and had it in there. Like the only thing they would have to do is pick up the glasses and wipe the table down. And he comes by, grabs all of our stuff, and then goes over to where she's sitting, and he's like, Hey, your table's ready to go. They've already got the card sitting on the table. You might want to help them out. She does not. She does not immediately get up from the table. She continues the conversation for like another minute.
Quality service right there.
And then and then she comes,
bro.
and then comes and gets us, right? I'm like, you know what? And I was that asshole. You know how like you always hear in the news about people writing notes and stuff on the receipts.
Oh yeah, I know what you're
and
talking
stuff
about.
like that. I was that asshole. I wrote on there. I was like, hey, guess what? This is a tip you're going to get. It's because you do not sit at customers' tables. Blah blah blah. By the way, I gave you a $10 tip for a $40 freaking check last time I was here.
Honestly, bro,
and I gave her two. No, I still gave a tip. I gave a $2 tip because it was quality service at first. And you know, I think the bill was maybe $50 this time because you know we had our son with us. And also, you know, $2, you know what, maybe 5% tip or something like that. But you know,
tipping is based on service, man. If service is good, tip good. If it's bad, tip bad. I worked in a restaurant where, you know, so you know how it's like waitresses get tips and that's how they survive, and cooks get hourly, or like you said, that one place in California does. Everybody gets the same wage. I worked in a place where waitresses got tips and cooks got paid hourly, but not a lot, because the servers had to take 10% of their tips for the whole night and give it to the cooks. So there's 2 cooks on the night, so 10%, 5 each. I'd get 5% of their tips that they make. And that's I guess weird. It's a way. I know, and you would think like, why don't you just pay me more? You know. I think it's because they want to save money.
Well, that and also like that's also less taxable income that the company has to do as well, and all that stuff. Because like that's the other thing with waiters and waitresses and all that stuff. Ooh. Is a lot of times, you know, let's say that waitress made 50 grand that year, and most of it's in freaking, you know, tips. That a waitress, unless she's stupid, is not going to claim 50 grand. She's going to claim 30.
Yeah, like half.
You know what I
mean?
mean? You know, and all that stuff. Yeah. You know, and it's not. Yeah, I understand. Some people would say, "Oh, well, that's getting over on the government, whatever." Guess what? Freaking taxation is freaking shouldn't be happening in the first place. But that's political side thing. We're not going there. I don't like taxation too much. But you know, so I can understand why waitresses and waiters and all that stuff don't, because even like I've heard like busboys sometimes in some restaurants or something like that, even the busboys split tips with the waitresses and stuff like that and all.
Yep, that's true.
So
that's true.
Because you know the busboys are trying to clear off. Oh man, sorry about that. The busboys are trying to clear off these tables as fast as possible so that waitress or waiter can get another table faster. So,
yep, restaurant industry. Totally the restaurant.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just like the restaurant industry is like just so weird. And,
I think it's really inconsistent.
It varies from state to state and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I think there needs to be some way, shape, or form like a standardized thing in a way, but then that's getting too corporate and government things and all that stuff, and not allowing each company to have their own individualized way of doing things.
See, I didn't work in any corporate. I didn't work in an Applebee's, or I worked at a place you probably would have never heard of. It's you know, it's a hole in the wall.
Right.
I worked at a hole in the wall. So it was more like a mom and pop like sort of like deal. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of like, you know, it wasn't corporate. No one you didn't have to wear a business shirt, or you didn't have to wear a uniform. You can wear whatever you want, you know? I prefer that. That's the type of place I would rather work, because there's more leniency, if that makes any sense, you know, more freedom to do what you want.
Well, it's like I've always kind of like, in a way, like I've always kind of like wanted to like own a bar, and all that stuff. And obviously, most bars, at least the good ones, have somewhat of a kitchen and all that stuff, and they cook stuff or whatever. Those are what I've heard of and known of through all the bars that I've gone throughout my life so far. Because I mean, I'm an alcoholic. I've gone places, but the really good ones have always had somewhat of a kitchen and all that stuff. And it's actually amazing, like how like some of these bars like actually have like some decent food in them. Even the hole in the wall.
I like places that are like they're more of a bar than it is a restaurant, but like a place where you could go to the bar and order some wings. Not not like not a bunch of seafood or just something stupid simple. Wings, maybe a burger, hot dog, something like that. Like bar food, just bar food.
Right, but at the same time though, you're making it sound like it's simple. Guess what? You can still mess up a chicken wing.
Oh yeah,
you can still mess up even a hot dog. Like I've gone to bars where they've messed up a burger really bad, and I'm just like, no. And then and the other thing is too is that I've noticed like those kind of places that have that bad food. If you like look at the liquor bottles and stuff like that that's on the wall, they tend to have stuff in them. Like it's a not well maintained bar. It's just absolutely terrible.
Blech.
And all that stuff. Like on like ever watch Bar Rescue?
Long time. Actually, Bar Rescue came to my old job asking if they were willing to let us participate in the show. My boss said, "Fuck no," for some reason.
Right. But yeah, freaking Bar Rescue. Like I've seen some of the things, and it's like always talking about cockroaches and stuff like that, and like the one bar, like guy held a liquor bottle up, and there was a dead cockroach inside of it. I'm like sitting here, like, oh no,
that can't, dude. That's got to be. There's no place for that. That's gross. That's gross. How do you even let that happen?
I know, right? Like you have to literally have no care in the world in your restaurant. The employees have like even less care because they know you don't care as an owner. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely terrible.
That's disgusting. I've never heard of it. I mean, I've heard of people like finding hair in their food. That's more common than finding a cockroach.
Well, it's in a liquor bottle though.
I know.
Like
you got a whole thing of Smirnoff ice or Smirnoff vodka, and you see a little brown thing floating in there. What the hell's that?
I don't know,
Call Bar Rescue, man.
All right. Let's change gears here, all right? All right. Mm-hmm. So we see the guitars in the back. We see the guitars. So obviously you play, right?
Yes, sir.
What is like some of your favorite bands that you love to do covers on? If you want to, you can play one now. Oblique 182. Okay, gotcha. That was an easy answer on that.
Entire world, man. Best band. I mean, I know you only see 4,
right?
But I've got 8 more in my bedroom.
Jesus.
Yeah, I can. I started. I don't know what it was. I was in 8th grade, and I was like, I want to learn how to do something. I've been playing basketball. I want to learn how to do something else. I'm always like trying to find something else to keep myself occupied in a way. Like whether it be streaming YouTube or basketball or guitar. So I was like, I asked my uncle, he used to know how to play bass, and he's like, yeah, I can help you. And we had this old guitar right here.
I think I had one of those when I was growing up. It didn't have the electric hooks on it though.
Yeah, this is an acoustic electric. But this is my sister's guitar sitting in the closet since I was like 4 years old. And it had like they only had 1 string on it, and first thing I ever learned, you probably know what it is.
Yeah.
And that's all it took. That's what got me. And then for Christmas, I got an Epiphone SG. And then I just kept saving up money and buying guitars. And now I've got a million. Yeah. I've got some that I've got some that I'm willing to sell, like that one in the back. Like I could probably get rid of it and, not think twice about it. But then there's some that I just can't get rid of. Like here, I'll show you this. So you obviously know Halo, right?
Yeah.
So you know who Steve Vai is? He's
Sounds
the guy who
familiar. I can't think off the
recorded
top of my head.
he recorded the guitar tracks for
Okay.
Halo 2. So like you know that the Halo woo, he recorded that. He autographed this. I've got this. This is a pick guard for Les Paul, autographed by Les Paul himself. He's dead now. But the reason I can't get rid of it, even though it's autographed by Steve Vai, my cousin passed away in 2016, and she left me this in her will.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's dusty. I don't play it. I've never plugged it in. I've never messed with the tuners. I've never changed the string. I've never done anything with it.
Right.
So this thing.
That's a straight up collector's item.
Oh yeah, It's
that's awesome.
Worth a lot. That's my cousin's funeral thing. Yeah, I put my collectible stuff on it like this. Is you know what Foghat is? The band Foghat.
No, I'm not. I'm going to let you know about music. All right. I'm terrible with knowing the song titles, and I'm terrible with knowing the song bands. But most of the time, if I start hearing the song or whatever, I could probably say it word for word. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got you. Hold on, let me put this back. Yeah, that one's always gonna hold a place in my heart. Yes, the Foghat. I have that pick was the guitarist threw it at me when I was in the crowd, and so he threw it at me. I thought that was pretty cool. I also have another guitar. It's autographed. If you want me to go grab it, I'll grab it.
Go ahead, go grab it. We got time.
It's like money wise, it's worth more. I'll be right back.
Let's not go money because we don't need anybody finding your house and then going, oh, where'd all my guitars go?
I'm just kidding. It's worth nothing at all. Don't come to my home. I'll be right back. Hold on, I got you. This one right here, I'm never gonna get rid of. It's very, very special to me. My second favorite band is Slipknot. I don't know if you know what Slipknot is.
Yes, I know Slipknot. I know that. Yep.
So I got the signature 7 guitar.
Oh, dang. That's pretty.
I know. I love it. It sounds
that
so good.
That is so pretty.
They don't make these anymore. They stopped making these in 2009.
Okay.
And autograph.
Autograph too. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know if you know anything about instruments, but Seymour Duncan Blackouts. These things right here are more than enough money. They're signatured, locking tremolo bridge. It's hate. I don't know how else to describe it.
Right.
It's just so nice, man. I love this. This thing I got it about a year ago. My friend from high school, he was a big Slipknot fan, and he was seeking this out like crazy. He was looking for this. So this was like 5 years ago. He's looking for this thing, and he spent I want to say close to $2,000 because the only one you could find was autographed.
Right.
So and then when the coronavirus and the pandemic and all that happened, he was selling. He needed money. He lost his job, and he sold it to me for $300.
What? What?
Yeah.
What? Wow. Yeah. Wow. You got a $2,000 freaking guitar, and that's at its last price rate, freaking for $300.
Oh yeah, I cut him down. He wanted $500, but I said I'll do $200 because I wanted $300 out of it. I know how to barter.
Right. That's how you make some money. Is by bartering. That's another thing that I wish more people did. And all that stuff, and that's another reason why I've always liked Craigslist and stuff like that, because you can find so many things on Craigslist. And
sometimes curb alert, man. I love the curb alerts.
you can just find all kinds of crazy things. So,
oh yeah, but mostly when I did my looking for guitars and stuff like that, I didn't really use Facebook Marketplace because 99% of the time people would just overprice shit. I hated that. There was this app I used called OfferUp. I really liked OfferUp. That's what I used to. What I started with was $50. I bought a little Squier Stratocaster, similar to that. It's not Squier. It looks the same though. And I started with $50. Bought that. Then I traded it for a Flying V. And that was cool. I traded that for another Squier, but it was a Squier Strat that was worth more, So I was trying to get the value to go up and up and up until I found something I was comfortable with. And I ended up with a guitar with a floating bridge, 5-way switch, 24 frets. It was just I still have it. I'm not going to get rid of it because I worked so hard to get it.
Right.
It kind of felt like investing in the stock market in a way. Like you put $50 in and then you cash out when you get a lot of money. I stopped there.
that kind of reminds me of like some like little article or something like that I read a while back ago. How this woman or whatever went from like a paper or a hair clip. It was like a hair clip to a house. Like she bought
110% real.
She bartered all the way from a hair clip to buying a house. And I'm like sitting here like I would never be able to do that. I don't think I'd ever be able to do something like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy how people do that.
Bartering from my dad because growing up, like mostly my dad was a car salesman. So you got to know.
You got to know how to talk. You got to know how to talk.
Even if they're not totally ethical, you have to learn how to sell to somebody. And I've seen, I know what you're talking about, but it wasn't when I saw it. It wasn't a hair clip. This dude started off with a little toaster oven, a little conventional oven that you toast like a sub or something or something sandwiches. He ended up with a go-kart. Even stuff like that. It's like still that's profit.
Right. Yeah.
Same way you could start with. I could start with like this, and I could go to a house. And I love this thing, man. This is my baby. Actually, I'm gonna put it up real quick. I'll be right back because this thing hurts to hold after a while because it's so sharp.
Yeah, I got you.
I'll be right back. I swear.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not worth anything. Don't steal. I swear. This one right here is a beauty. I like this one. I bought this about a year ago as well. This is my ESP LTD Strat. I don't know what made me buy this. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to buy it. I think I spent like $330 on it.
It looks pretty freaking cool, I have to say, though.
Yeah,
with all the stickers and stuff on.
Yeah, it reminds me of like, Green Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they got that signature guitar?
Okay.
So that's what it reminded me of. Like, do you have the time to listen to me whine? Yeah, that's why I basically got this. I just decked it out with all their stuff, my initials, all that jazz. I voted. What is that? I don't even know where I got that sticker from. Apple sticker when I got my iPhone. Elgato stickers.
Right.
Green Day sticker. Wristband from my high school. I
as long as it's unique, right? Unique for you, right?
I put my personality in it.
Yeah, exactly.
But what makes me into it. So, I thought it was really cool. And it's not, it's worth some money. It's not expensive, but I like it. It fits me. It's got the wear and tear and all that, and I like it. I actually bought this. So where I live, the closest guitar shop is about an hour and a half away.
Okay.
And I go there expecting to buy that, and then I'm putting my money up. I'm buying it. I bought it. I'm walking away, and as I'm walking out, I see that one in the back, and I'm like, oh shit. I was like, this thing wasn't here the other day. They just got it in stock. That's an Agile 7-string. You'll play Doom music on it. So I was like, okay, I'm going to drive another hour and a half back home, grab some money. And then, because I had to grab cash and I didn't have my card at the time. So I had to go home, get cash. Went back, bought that. After 6 hours of driving, I got 2 guitars.
Yeah, but that's also a guitar that you're willing to get rid of right now. Why is that?
Well, I mean, not that it's just that I don't have. I like it. It plays good. It sounds good. It's just it doesn't have like an emotional connect.
I got you. You haven't put really a personality.
It doesn't have meaning to me.
Right.
Like this acoustic, I'm not gonna get rid of. That's what started me. This guitar right here, I put my personality into it. Obviously, that one, my cousins.
Right.
The red one, that my favorite band.
Right.
I don't think I could get rid of. I could probably get rid of that instrument, and that's probably it.
Right.
I don't think. I do have other guitars. I don't know. It'd be a whole showcase just for me to come out here and just start showing you every single one.
Right. Well, I'm not worried about that at all. But it's just like it kind of makes me think of like okay, in the future or whatever is what I'm thinking of doing in the future is like I'm planning on downsizing even more than what I am right now. Like I have a really small apartment, but like I want to eventually probably what I want to do is I want to move into an RV and be able to travel and do different little things like that, and maybe continue doing the podcast and stuff like that through that and all. But when you move
Podcast
into
on the road.
yeah, but the thing is, it's like when you move into like an RV and all, like you gotta downsize everything. Just imagine if you were to do something like that, you'd have to downsize like 2 guitars.
Well, I'd have to downsize a lot more than that. So I have to. I still live with my mom and dad. I'm thankful for that. I do my fair share around the house. But no bad blood. I'm mature. I'm an adult. They know that. But we have our plans of like how we're gonna live when we get older. Not in the same home, but like same compound like property.
Well, you could always do one of those things like a mother-in-law suite or something like that.
Yeah, but we have an idea to get property and put our own homes on it. Like,
okay.
And I live in the back, they live in the front in their own home.
Okay, okay.
Tiny home, like kind of
like a
that.
compound, like a compound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my a bunch of my family up north does that. So we thought it was really cool that they do that. We would want to do the same. But if I had to downscale into an RV, not only would I have to get rid of guitars, you got to remember I have amps too. I have not a half stack. Do you know what a half stack is?
No, I don't.
It's these 4x12 speakers. So there's 4 12-inch speakers, and it stands up like this tall. Okay. I got an idea. I've got 2 of those, and I've got a head for the guitar amp that I spent a shitload of money on. I have another guitar amp back here that if I ever want to play electric while I'm just sitting here, I do that. So I'd have to downsize that. I built my bed, so I would have to get a new bed because my bed is huge. Well, I built my desk.
Most RVs already have beds in there, so the only thing you really have to worry about is a mattress. Just saying.
Oh yeah, I got the mattress. I ain't worried about the mattress. But I'd have to get rid of this desk because my father and my dad and I always do like projects together. We work on stuff together. We like building and making stuff together. It's one of the bonds I have with my dad. We built this desk together, and it weighs like 200 pounds. It is. I'm not sure if you could see it. We flamed it ourselves,
Okay.
We flamed it ourselves. We epoxied it. We cut all the wood up ourselves. It was really fun making it, and we'd have to downscale this too. So that would be going to a Walmart desk,
right?
So yeah, I'd have to part with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of dreading it right now because it's like even though you see the stuff behind me, you know what I'm saying. But I've actually got like a whole household worth of stuff sitting in storage right now.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
And all that stuff. So like I'd have to get rid of all that stuff. But a lot of that stuff's in the future or whatever. I'm not even really worrying about any of that stuff right now, Oh,
I got you, man. I got you.
Okay. All right. Obviously, in a way that this would be both of our things. It's like streaming, it'd be a dream job, that kind of deal, whatever. But outside of, let's say, streaming or whatever, what would you say is like your dream job?
Dream job?
Yes. I mean, don't say streaming because obviously, that's a natural thing.
Besides streaming or content creation, I would say, because I do I do both. But I would say, it may be, I may be good at cooking. I enjoy cooking, but growing up, what I always wanted to be, like to follow in footsteps of, my father, grandparents, and uncles and all that. I wanted to be a firefighter.
Yeah.
Firefighter very badly. Yeah.
Yeah. Protect and serve still through firefighting and all that stuff as well. I can definitely see that. I had a while there for a minute when I got out the Marine Corps. Of thinking of becoming either a police officer or maybe even a firefighter or whatever. But with all of everything that's been going on in the world, I got away from that because I was like, I don't want to have to deal with.
That's another reason why I'd be scared of it. Yeah, the way the world is now, it's not like it used to be. Before I was born, it was a much calmer place. My father told me, but my grandfather was the chief of our local fire department. My father was the chief at one point. My uncle was also the chief. My other uncle was the chief in New York. My uncle he was there during 9/11. So it felt like something that I always wanted to do, but just never got the chance to. And I'm still young. I could still do it.
Right. I mean, it's like even though I'm almost 40, if I really wanted to, I could probably go into it. I have to get in a lot better shape than what I am right now because I'm
So
a
do
fat
I.
ass. But I probably could. I don't know. It's like for me, I wouldn't mind being like a logger or like a forester, wildlife warden, that kind of deal, or whatever. Because I love the woods. I love
Oh,
being
so
out in
do
the
I.
woods. I would go hunting and fishing all the time when I was younger. I still try to go hunting and fishing when I can, even though it's mostly been fishing instead of hunting. But chopping wood, that's pretty good, and the ladies like watching the guys chop the wood.
Big sweaty lumberjacks
Yeah.
chopping wood.
But
Oh yeah, man.
I don't know, it's just I've always loved nature. It's like if it wasn't for like me thinking of going like the RV route of things, I think I'd probably be one of those guys that would be up in the middle of the woods in a log cabin, and just chilling on the porch, fishing out of the pond in the backyard, kind of deal, or something like that.
Man, that sounds like a dream to me. My father always told me growing up, I was like, Dad, where do you want to be when, we're all old and stuff? And he goes, I want to be able to make myself a cup of coffee and go sit in the back porch in my underwear and shoot a deer. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
And we do hunting too. We like to go hunting. I've killed 4 deer. I've never shot hog or anything. Where I live, hog is a nuisance. They're everywhere. You're more than welcome to kill them if you come here.
Yeah, right.
But I've got my own. My father let me inherit a rifle, so I have a 30-06, and I love hunting. It's not for killing animals or whatever. I like going out and enjoying just the peace, man. It's peaceful.
The other thing is too with that is that it's population control and all that stuff, taking care of things. But we're not going to get too much into that because then, again, that could go in the political side of things, and we're not getting into that today. Because like just hunting alone, I could talk about that for an hour. Okay.
So can I.
And I'm also known, like, especially at work, as the guy that can see both sides. And if I hear one guy saying just one side of things, I'll be like, well, the other side is thinking this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they are.
Gotta be open-minded, man.
Yeah, and all that stuff. All right, so last little topic or whatever. Now I understand that you got out. You did not graduate from high school or anything like that. But did you play any sports while you were in school?
So like I said earlier, I played basketball. I didn't play for the team or anything like that, but I loved basketball. I loved playing basketball. So I guess technically I played, but I didn't play for a team or anything like that. But every day after school, me and my friends would always hang out. We'd come over to my house because my house was for some reason the place to go play basketball. This was probably 6 years ago, and it's weird. It's 6 years ago. And to a lot of people, that's not long at all. To me, I'm nostalgic about that kind of stuff. But yeah, I played a lot of basketball. I love hockey. Hockey's my favorite sport. I never really played it, but I know it like the back of my hand. That's why I get the lightning bolt. Go Bolts. Mm-hmm. We were Stanley Cup champions, so I'm happy about that. Got to see them win 2020, and I got to see them win when I was 4 years old back in 2004.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I guess in a way you could say I was kind of a jock a little bit. I was like one of those like jock nerds in school where like I got really good grades to where like they would put me in honor classes and stuff like that sometimes. But then I would also be the guy on the football team that everybody looked up to. and I was also like in the JROTC when I was in school. I played baseball. I played. Didn't really play. I didn't play like team wise like soccer or anything, but I played a little bit of that. But that was years ago and all that stuff. But I always have to say like my favorite sport to ever play was baseball for sure. I know when I played it when I was mostly in middle school, I was like a pitcher and first baseman. I freaking loved it. I freaking loved it, man.
I'll always say the same thing about baseball, man. It's a fun sport to play. It's so fun. I can't stand watching it.
Oh! That's how I am with like watching it on TV.
Oh, it's
like I cannot watch it on TV at all. Okay, I can't. I can't. All right. I mean, like I can't even be like really, really drunk and watch it on TV because I'll just fall asleep. Like
it's like watching golf.
Yes. I find golf more entertaining because of the announcers that they have, than baseball when it comes to TV.
Is it because the announcers are talking about which prostitute Tiger Woods slept with?
Well, kind of, maybe.
It's the third one this week.
They're not, they're not really talking about the freaking the person in the stands eating this big old hot dog. It's like, come on, I don't want to be hearing about that. I want to talk about something else. But yeah, but like being at a stadium and watching a baseball game, as long as it's not too hot and the benches aren't freaking, burning your ass off, like that can be a lot of fun. Obviously, because you're going there, you're eating your hot dogs. Most of the time you go there, you have a group of people, you're drinking, you're having a good old time, relaxing and all that stuff. So like, you're only really paying attention to the game maybe 50% of the time. That's where it's actually entertaining. But yeah, when you're on the field, unless you're an outfielder, it's a lot of fun.
I never really got into baseball. I mean, I played it back in probably middle school, but we didn't really play baseball that much in middle school. But we more, like I said, basketball was, for some reason here in Tampa, everybody's just obsessed with basketball. Like that's the go-to sport to play. But the go-to sport to watch, it's hockey. Everywhere you go, someone's gonna have that hot. I don't know what it is. You would think a place that's swampy and hot as hell every day, 100 degrees, people wouldn't want to see a Canadian sport, but it is bigger. It's bigger than the Bucks winning the Super Bowl. I can tell you that much.
Well, it's like outside of football, outside of watching football on TV, I'll watch hockey. You know what I'm saying? I really will.
What's your team?
Blackhawks, is it?
Chicago Blackhawks?
Yeah, Chicago Blackhawks or the Penguins are like my two teams or whatever. It used to be back in the day the Red Wings, but nowadays it's the Blackhawks or Penguins, and it's like my football team is the Steelers. Obviously, I got a lot of my wanting and all that stuff to because of like me going to tech college when years back before I got my job now. I went to PA and went to technical college there and all that stuff, and I ended up watching more Penguins hockey there. I ended up going to a Steelers game and all that little stuff and all. And honestly, I think that was how I got really into hockey a little bit more, because I hardly ever watched hockey growing up, but I watched a lot more hockey when I was in PA, because like it was always Steelers and the Penguins. Steelers and the Penguins. Like that's all anybody ever talked about.
Steelers and the Penguins? Hockey? Hold on. I think you're mixing up. Oh, okay. No, you're not mixing. You're talking about the two local teams.
Yeah, the two local teams.
I thought you were saying Steelers versus the Penguins.
No. Football, Steelers. Hockey, Penguins.
Hey, man, I didn't really like football until we got Tom Brady. That's all I'm saying.
He needs to retire already if he hasn't already.
He's got another year in him. That's about it.
Well, So I think the only thing is with him and a few other these like even Roethlisberger and stuff like that. I think if they weren't taking such good care of their bodies and all that stuff, they would not have. They would have not have lasted in the league as long as they have. Personally,
Oh yeah,
if
for
they,
sure.
um, oh man, and that's just the same thing that goes for hockey and stuff like that. Like you're talking about Wayne Gretzky and all that stuff. Like, look how well he maintained his body and stuff like that while he was in,
And he played for that long. Same for Michael Jordan, and it's probably gonna be. I think there's goats of every sport. You got Michael Jordan for the basketball. You got Babe Ruth for the baseball. You got Tom Brady for football, and then you got Wayne Gretzky for hockey.
Right.
Yep. They took good care of themselves.
Yep. Now, I could do the same, That won't happen. Oh. All right, hold on a second. Let me work on something real quick. Any final little things that you would like to talk about? Any plugs that you would like to do?
Shout out to Worm Dog. Everybody here, follow him if you're not following him already. I want to thank you again for letting me be on the podcast. I do appreciate it. It was fun talking to you, dude.
I try to make it as fun as possible, man. And you're good people. Again, I'm putting his Twitch handle in the chat, guys. If you haven't already followed him, definitely give him a follow. He has not been very active on streaming on Twitch, but he said he is getting back to it. So
we're going to get back to it, I swear. And with the last like series of streams, what I do is I usually play through a single player game, like mostly. I played through Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 episode 1, and now I'm going through 2, and everybody's like, when are you going to finish 2? And I'm like, the day Half-Life 3 comes out.
Right.
One day. I'll get there, I swear.
I think there's not a single game that I've actually gone through the whole campaign. Like I don't think there's a single game I have gone through the whole campaign of.
You gotta play a GTA, man. You gotta.
Well, I could never get into GTA. It's too boring for me. It's too boring for me. It's like I played GTA back in the day when it was like GTA 2 or 3 or something like that. The graphics were horrendous. You were able to do things with the hookers and then still get your money back, whatever, all that stuff.
GTA 3.
Like I played that a little bit and all, but I just couldn't like stay into it, and all. And it's like, oh, speaking of GTA, have you gotten into any of the role playing servers or anything like that at all? And what do you think of that?
That's a good question. That's weird that you would ask me that. So basically, there's multiple RP servers out there, but there's the number one, NoPixel. Everybody knows what NoPixel is.
Right.
Normally, to get into NoPixel, you have to go through an application process. You have to donate to the server. I actually got accepted, and I was in. It's hard for me to understand the controls. I still have my account on there. It's hard for me to get in because on top of having, I'm busy a lot. You have to queue for the game, and that takes like 9 hours. I just don't have the time. It only makes sense to do it if you're a full-time streamer, maybe.
Right.
But I've been in NoPixel, and like, do you know who Spoonerism is?
No, I don't know Spoonerism, but I heard that what was it? XQC got banned from that server like 4 times now, or something like that.
Oh, I ran into him. My RP character is I forgot the name. I think I named him Leopold. And so this is where my soundboard comes into play. So let me turn this on. I think I talked like this. Yeah, a little bit of this. I used to talk like this. Yes, shit. I used to act like I had Tourette's syndrome. and everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Oh shit. Whoops. Anyways. Oh, I'm loud. My bad. But I ran into Spoonerism on there, man, and it was hilarious. I ran into him and a dude named Gary Roche, their RP characters, and I was like, "Hey, how do I get buff? How do I get buff? I want to get buff." And then he's like, "You just go to the gym, buddy." And I walked away and I screamed "cocksucker" at the top of my lungs. and I went back on their streams in front of thousands of people, and I'm just like, "Wow, I didn't even know I was." It's weird. It's its own world. No Pixel is a good server if you know how to get into it quick enough. Like, because there's, if you're a big content creator, you get higher queue placement. So if you want to join it, you basically join it whenever you want. Like Summit 1G, I ran into him. I didn't talk to him though. But yeah, XQC called me an idiot. It's pretty weird.
Wow.
I played with the higher ups, and I'm like a nobody on there, and they're still wondering who that Tourette's guy that was running around screaming about flip flops.
Right. Gotta love it.
That shit was fun, man. Yeah, I like GTA RP. I think it's better than GTA Online.
Well, the reason why I asked about RP is like I think that probably would be the only way that I would actually get into GTA and all that stuff, because like, okay, I can run the map all the time, crash my car 50 million times, do certain different little heights and stuff like that, but it's not like as an interactive as what I would want it to be. Doing the RP version or whatever, I think it would be a lot more fun and all that stuff.
It's in a sense creating your own fun.
Right.
I think that's what because like I've always had a strong opinion on GTA Online as a whole. I always thought the economy was really bad. Back when it first came out, I played it day one. For some reason, a shirt was $25 in the game. Now it's 2,500,000. Like, why? The economy it's really bad. It's pay to win.
It is pay. Oh, it is definitely pay to win. Definitely pay to win.
That's why people stick to RP.
Yeah,
more fun to be had on RP for sure.
Well, if you ever want to come back on the show, definitely come back. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit more and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Greatly appreciate it to have you on here again. I'm going to put his Twitch handle in here again. Guys, you sure there's nothing else that you want to plug in? YouTube, freaking times that you possibly stream on a regular?
I try to stream every other night. I try to, at least, and when you find me, it's going to be usually at nighttime during Eastern Standard Time. What I'm going to try to stream next is some Half-Life 2, and hopefully I'll finish it because I've never beaten the game, and I have Half-Life Alyx, and I refuse to beat that until I beat Half-Life 2. So that's going to be coming soon.
What was the link that you tried putting in?
That's my
DM me.
That's my YouTube channel.
It's the only reason why I don't allow links unless you're mod or V.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. It's because of trolls. I can put it in there.
Yeah, you get those. You get those messages in chat. Want to buy viewers and subs?
Yeah, all that stuff. Like it just
linking websites.
Just DM me in Discord, and I can put it in there.
I got you, bro. I got you. Yes, sir. But thank you once again for having me on here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's hot in my room, man. I got these blistering lights on me.
All right, so that's his YouTube, guys. So definitely give him a follow on that. Check it out and all. He puts out a very variety of content and all. Very chill guy, as you can tell. All right. Other than that, you have a wonderful night, man.